Hello, hello. Welcome to the 11th Hour Shaman podcast. I'm your hostess, Theresa Gutierrez, and I'm really glad you're here for this one. So let's just begin the way we always do with one deep belly breath to bring your awareness back into your body. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale slowly with a sigh through your mouth. My shoulders soften every time I just at least do one deep breath. Excuse me. Let's take a moment to review what we've explored together over the 8 episodes. Before we get into the real life examples of what happens after healing begins, you've learned that healing is not imaginary. It's physiological and measurable and spiritual. We talked about our ancient human history, our ancestral legacy of hands-on healing. We discussed the quantum field and how space isn't actually empty at all. We talked about the human energy field, excuse me, or biofield, and how real and responsive it is. We learned that plants, animals, and enzymes respond very positively towards life with hands-on healing. We realized just how powerful energy healing is when we saw that damaged enzymes could be healed and restored to their proper function. We learned through the squid, SQID, that healing hands are 100 to 1,000 times more powerful than the normal human biofield output, and that energy healing can increase hemoglobin even when patients are undergoing treatments that typically lower hemoglobin levels, like aggressive cancer treatments. Which means when we increase hemoglobin, it means more oxygen, repair, vitality, and life force in the body. We also discussed how Reiki is an unlimited, universal life force that doesn't drain the practitioner. It nourishes both the practitioner and the receiver. We discussed some of the benefits researchers found when studying Reiki in 8 to 12-week periods of time, such as lowered depression, lowered anxiety, lower overwhelm, improving sleep troubles, meaning their sleep gets better, reducing chronic fatigue, and reducing pain. That's incredible in just 8 to 12 weeks. We saw plant studies where rye seedlings grew 840% faster, stronger, bigger, and greener, meaning increased chlorophyll, during remote healing and hands-on healing, both of them, that permanently changed their baseline growth rate and contemplated what that could mean for human evolution. We explored the cloud chamber experiment where subatomic, unorganized particles reoriented themselves into organized particle wave patterns in response to a healer's intention from 600 miles away. That's consciousness interacting with matter. We looked at brainwave, breath, and heart rhythms, entrainment, and how two nervous systems between healer and receiver synchronize during healing, even remotely, when love, light, and safety are present. We even explored the emotional energy field, how love, gratitude, compassion, and connection create a measurable state of coherence in the body, calming the nervous system and making healing possible. And how energy healing can interrupt a negative thought emotion cycle and replace it with a positive thought emotion cycle. We talked about DNA and light and how your unexpressed positive genetic potential can awaken through elevated emotional states of being and supportive connections. That's right, your DNA can activate its divinely designed dormant potential when the body returns to love, safety, and connection. So, when we say Reiki and shamanic healing works, energy healing works, we mean neurologically, the nervous system reorients to calm wholeness. Biologically, the atoms, molecules, DNA, enzymes, cells, and systems all respond positively towards health. Mentally and emotionally, paradigm and perception shifts occur, and the emotional body releases what was holding it back. Energetically, the body's electromagnetic field stabilizes, strengthens, and expands. Spiritually, the unconditional love the angels hold and infuse us with heals us. This is not metaphor. This is nature. It's how we're designed. You've learned the science, and I'm sure you have felt the spirit. So, what actually happens after all that? If you've been listening to this series, you know that healing isn't magic. It's not an energy transfer where one gets drained to fill the other. And it's not passive either. It's a physiological regulation, it's nervous system coherence, emotional unburdening, it's cellular communication, right? And spiritual remembrance. And what people feel first every single time is a calm nervous system. They're actually able to take a deep breath and really exhale for the first time in a long, long time. That sense of space in their mind, in their heart, that lightness in their shoulders, that's real. And the softening in the jaw. This is when people say things like, wow, I really needed that. I didn't realize how tense I was. Something inside me just let go. Or I felt grounded and pain-free. That moment is not just a mood. That's not a placebo. It's the body leaving survival mode and returning to safety. And once survival quiets and safety returns, everything changes because something new becomes possible. Let me share what I mean. This is a story of one of my clients. So she, at the time, was 27. She came to me after years of emotional shutdown. Her coping patterns were quite understandable considering all she'd been through, but she was experiencing numbness, alcohol, smoking, isolation, collapse, and repeat. This isn't because she was weak or broken. She was overwhelmed and alone with deep pain. During her session, her breath softened and her body let go in a way it hadn't in years. She actually began to fall asleep on my healing table because she felt safe enough to do so. And for her, that was a big sign of healing in and of itself. When she woke, she didn't feel fixed. She felt calm. And in the weeks that followed, she stopped smoking. She joined a boxing gym. She reconnected with someone she had written off. She felt clear, alive. She felt like herself. Her words were, I felt pure. I felt pure. Not everyone has this shift. No, there are not guaranteed results or timelines. Of course, everyone's individual, but this was such a profound example of what is possible. When our nervous system re enters safety and the soul is witnessed with unconditional love. This is real and repeatable, and this is what integration looks like. Her whole life changed. And yes, I believe the angels are part of all of this. During sessions, in person or remotely, angels help hold the coherent field of divine love, so your body can soften without fear. The angels don't push us, of course, they just remind us how purely, deeply, and unconditionally we're loved always, 100% of the time. This energy is often palpable. It feels sometimes like warmth. Some feel a vibration or a sudden shift. I often feel a whoosh of energy and it just starts pulsating, or I feel it feels like, gosh, besides whoosh, it just feels like a sudden heat release. It just feels amazing. Some people, their body might twitch as that release happens or that opening of a channel happens. Every once in a while, my clients and myself can feel the hands of our angels, or we just feel that somebody very specific is present in the room, a loved one or an angel. They inform the field within and around every atom. The angels are always giving us loving messages that make us feel safe and open-hearted. They ease our pain and they help us feel spiritually connected through life, through all of this stuff we're facing here on Earth. So everything's coming together now, right? The body responds by releasing pain, releasing muscle tension. Our sleep improves and the body stops bracing for impact. Our natural healing processes resume. The immune system becomes coherent, efficient, and powerful because the body cannot repair when it's trying to defend itself, right? It needs calm coherence. Love is the doorway to healing. Then we feel some connection. And as I said, some of my clients have said things like, I just don't feel alone anymore. I feel so supported. I feel grounded, which, is a new thing for them. And it's so wonderful. And then some of them end up not having pain anymore for the first time in many months. And like the client I shared about today, she feels pure. I have client stories for days, but that's enough for today. We also have identity shifts beginning to happen. This doesn't usually happen in one session, but it definitely can, and I've seen it. But identity shifts also happen with consistency. So, my client today, that example was after one session. In a previous episode, I shared about my client that was depressed and couldn't get off the couch. But these shifts happen with consistency and willingness. Their voice changes, their posture changes, the eyes brighten, their breathing slows, they stop apologizing for existing. That's a big one. They remember they're allowed to take up space. So this is where my clients go from not feeling broken anymore to I'm definitely good enough in every moment. I'm pure and I'm loved exactly as I am in every moment. Their choices begin to change. Their boundaries begin to change, and then their relationships begin to change in a way that supports life. And that's the moment purpose begins to emerge because now we've got some energy to work with here. The body feels safe. We don't have energy drains anymore because our choices and boundaries and relationships are improved. And so now the soul is freed to express itself fearlessly because purpose is not found through thinking in the brain. Purpose is our perfect self-expression, the one we're divinely designed for. When fight, flight, freeze, or fawn is no longer running the show, we can have perfect self-expression. When the heart is not barricaded behind an impenetrable wall, of course, our purpose can be expressed beautifully. When the body is not carrying the entire weight of the past or the world, We now can have perfect self-expression fearlessly. When those of us who have been through any trauma, grief, sorrow, or loss, all of us, when grief is witnessed and heard without judgment, love can return, self compassion can return. And when love returns, your true self returns. And that's the real benefit of healing work. Not to return to who you were, but to become the soul expression you were always meant to be. So, what does integration look like? You respond instead of react. You tell the truth instead of people pleasing. You rest without guilt. You listen to your intuition instead of ignoring it or overriding it. You choose relationships that nourish your nervous system. You make decisions from clarity instead of fear. You feel guided, not lost. This is not a miracle moment. This is a new baseline. Just like the rice seedlings, just like the cloud chamber, just like the DNA that reorganizes in the presence of love, healing raises the baseline of your life. And once it rises, you don't go back. This is the work. And this is why we do it. So if you are feeling called to heal your life, please feel free to reach out to me. I offer free consultations, and that information will be below. I would be so happy to walk with you on this healing journey. And if you would like to feel more connected to your angels, I created a free Reiki angel healing download. It's an audio and it helps you to calm your nervous system and feel connected to your angels and just notice them in your field. Make time to hear them or feel them or sense them. So that's it for this particular genre, I don't know, of studies on Reiki and energy healing. But I'll be back with more interesting episodes on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here with me through this series and exploring this science, spirit, coherence, grief, healing, and purpose, all of it. Thank you so much for joining me. I get nerdy excited about it. Until next time, stay open-hearted and stay connected to your angels. Bye.